These are the rules.
Keep us out of direct sunlight.
Don't let us get wet.
And most importantly, never feed us after midnight. Ah! The 1980s saw us the release of a very strange film, but it was an excellent film, Gremlins.
Gremlins?
A great Christmas movie.
Yeah.
One of the best Christmas movies ever made.
I think so.
Some would argue. And after that they followed it with one sequel, Gremlins 2.
Gremlins 2, The New Batch.
Yes.
Made by Joe Dante to ensure that they could not make another sequel to Gremlins.
Yes, the very end of the Gremlins. But it wasn't the end of the Gremlins because there were a few toys that came out.
Yes.
And since we seem to be talking about toys a lot lately,
strangely enough,
you might have brought some toys in with you.
I might well indeed have. NECA, who's one of my favourite brands, have been making Gremlins toys for actually quite a while now.
Okay, so they've had the rights like for ages.
They've had the rights for quite a while, and they've done a number of different Gremlins. Because my personal favourite one is Gremlins 2, I've only collected a couple of them from that particular movie, and those are the ones I've brought along today. So first we'll look at my favourite Gremlin, which is Brain Gremlin from Gremlins 2, voiced by the incomparable Tony Randall. You know, he was just the greatest antagonist. I'm sure you had Stripe and Mohawk, but I loved Brain Gremlin. And how can you not love a Gremlin as a villain whose big number is to do New York, New York?
My little town are melting away.
Now he's got a little suit on, a little shirt underneath and a pair of glasses. Why is he wearing that?
Well, because, you know, it's important for a Gremlin to be able to see properly, and that was part of his thing. They go to Christopher Lee's genetics lab in the Clamp building. He drinks this big vial of brain juice, and he comes out as a talking Gremlin, while the others all just, you know, sort of screech and make basic sounds. He comes out very erudite and witty and everything like that.
He's a version 2.
He is.
2.0.
I think there are some fascinating ramifications here for the future.
You know, he then becomes the leader of the Gremlins and you know, organises them together and all that sort of thing. And he's just brilliantly funny, and I love him to bits.
This is a great sort of design casting of this toy. The detail looks really excellent, the colours look really cool, and he's in a great pose as well.
This is one of the great things, and it shows, you know, this is actually fairly old now, which actually doesn't work too badly in this instance, because he is, you know, there's a very short body, and if you have too much articulation there, it'd be difficult for him to stand.
I think simple poses work well with this guy, yeah.
But yeah, he's got a swivel for the neck. Nowadays you would expect there to be a full ball joint, possibly even some mouth articulation. Swivel at the wrists, swivel just at the bicep there. It does have ball joints at the arms, and again the legs are just on a swivel as well. But no, he's very cool in terms of a small mini statue with some limited posability. But you look at the paintwork on it, and that's incredibly impressive, and that's what NECA has always excelled at.
Let's just take a look at the top here. I can see it from my point of view. If we turn him that way, he's got a great pattern on the top of his head and on the backs of his ears there. The facial expression, I mean, that says a lot, doesn't it?
It does.
It's very iconic.
I mean, they've got so much character into that sculpt in the first place. It's amazing.
How did they? Do you know how they sculpted this toy?
These are sculpted by hand. You know, this is not something where they've, to the best of my knowledge, gone in and scanned the puppet. A lot of those puppets have decayed over time, of course, because they're made in the 80s and just made out of foam latex, which is deteriorated. But yeah, this one I believe is hand sculpted by the amazing people that they have working there.
There it is, the apple. The city's so nice they named it twice. Check it out one time, won't you?
Now the main hero of the two films, Gremlins, the little hero, was Gizmo, and you've got a Gizmo here.
I do have a Gizmo.
Now this is Gizmo from the second film as well.
Yes, again, I love Gizmo, but I found just the regular Gizmo a bit boring. NECA have done a number of series of the little Mogwai, but this is the one that I really wanted. Combat Gizmo from Gremlins 2. He's been watching Rambo 2, and he's got, you know, the wise sage wisdom of Sylvester Stallone, and he's applied it, you know, with office equipment. Made himself a little bandana, his little bow and arrow here, and a little waistband, and he's just got a great killer expression on his face.
He looks very cool. What is that? Is that like a pencil eraser on the end?
It's a little pencil, and he's put some twink on the end, which, you know, in the movie he lights it up and it becomes an incendiary.
Oh yes.
Which he fires at the spider gremlin. really cool things here is that he actually can move his eyes. Now there's a little ball on the back of his head here, and if you take a look, you can look all over the place. Now, I like to have him looking down and scowling all the time, like he does at the end there. But, you know, I love this incarnation of Gizmo. It takes the cutesy factor off him and makes him a badass, and really that's what you want from your Mogwai.
So why have they released Gremlins toys now? Why are they so popular?
It's just because the NECA guys love Gremlins, and they've put so much effort into this line, doing multiple Mogwai and Gremlins rather than just doing, we'll do Gizmo and a basic Gremlin. They've done so many different variations. They've really fought for this line at retail. They've gone out of their way to be able to make the Spider Gremlin, which has been a really big, impressive thing, which it has been very difficult for them to be able to get it out into the marketplace, but they've done it. Basically the NECA guys love Gremlins, and it's fantastic to see a company which has such passion about a product that they go to so much effort and get really innovative with some of the features that they do on these guys, and work really hard to bring so many of the individual characters of the Gremlins to life in plastic form.
Yeah, that's great to see. It's really important that that they love the toys themselves, and it reflects in the toy, and thus the people buying the toys will love them too.
Absolutely.
Now, was that civilized? No, clearly not. Fun, but in no sense civilized.
That's it from us. If you guys have any questions about this toy or any other toys, leave a comment in the section below.
Yep, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time with more toy reviews.
See you then. What have we done?